Do you think the students of High Point University are spoiled? Well, MSN thinks so. They ranked High Point University #1 most spoiled campus in America. Roger Clodfelter, Vice President of Communications at High Point University, describes the unique campus culture and how the appearance of things are more than what meets the eye.
There are going to be people in the world who think High Point is great, and there are going to be people in the world who may question how great High Point is. I think one of the unique aspects to High Point University is that we have worked intentionally to provide an environment that supports the learning process for our students. But it's all done to make sure that students kind of be in this zone of trying to always excel. And our philosophy is we can't teach you how to be nice. We can't teach you how to serve your client well when you go out to the workforce. But if we treat you well and service you well as a student, then you'll inherit those ideals and you'll know how to implement them on your own. And that's going to lead to a more successful and significant life. In the cafe, the live music is really all about creating an environment where students sit down and enjoy some communal time. They talk to one another. Before we did that, the cafeteria basically was a place where students came in, sat down, ate real quick, and left. You ask about the birthday cards. We want you to know that we care about you. And that is one way in which we can do that. And we know that if we show you that we care about you, you are going to learn to care about others. You need to live life in balance. You absolutely need to work hard and to do well with studies. And we provided the academic environment for you to be able to do that, right? With the resources are there, the library space, the University Center Learning Commons, and these new residential facilities. We've added space for studying. But you need to have fun also. It's good for students to be exposed to many things, but certainly music that they probably don't have on their iPod. That music is just there to get people in a zone. Music is inspiring. It uplifts people. It's energetic. And when you walk down the promenade and you've got these historical figures, the sculptures that are there, it gets you in a zone. So it's just about invigorating the people who are on our campus and creating energy. We do not have valet parking. The idea behind that originally was that sometimes people may not feel comfortable parking out in the parking lot and then walking across their dorm late at night. So our security did operate where they would be glad to drive you from where you parked back to campus, but we don't offer valet parking now. The whole idea of 1924 Prime is that it should be a learning lab for students. Inevitably, our students during internship opportunities or during job interviews may very well have to go out, and a prospective employer may want to test how well they do in a formal type setting. So the idea is if we can expose our students to that on a weekly or a recurring basis over the course of their 4 years, they won't be intimidated by that when they have to face it out in the workforce. They'll be comfortable in that environment, and it may give them an advantage against another applicant for positions or promotions within their company, because their employer has seen that they're very comfortable in that type of setting, and ultimately that's a way to make connections, and that's going to, again, give them a leg up. We have an ice cream truck for a couple of different reasons. One of the most fundamental reasons is we believe it's good for people to smile. And even the curmudgeon-y old history professor can't help but to smile when the ice cream truck comes down the street. If I were going to paint a picture for you of the ice cream truck and why we have it, I would simply provide you photos of our ice cream truck being out in our community, serving little children who are underprivileged and seeing the joy that it brings them. The ice cream truck is just a human connector. It's just a tool to try to connect with people. And it's an extension of what we want to do for our students. We want them to be able to create and make connections, and the truck is just one tool to be able to do that. The spoiled story doesn't reference the 50,000 hours of volunteer time that our students, faculty, and staff contribute every year to our community, including Montleau Elementary, which is right down the road. Not the best neighborhood in the world, where our students, faculty, and staff have contributed there. So that's what that story doesn't highlight. We're not just doing this on an elite end, on the high end of what may happen. We're doing this on a low end with service, which we believe. We're not worried necessarily about what people are saying about us. Our focus is what can we do to help every student here and give them every advantage they can have and to prepare them for the challenges they're going to face. it is difficult to explain what we do because in many ways it is very unique. And people sometimes are threatened by unique or don't understand it or don't want to take the time. But if they want to think vertically about what we do, they'll understand that everything we do here has a purpose, and it's all intended to enhance the education of our students. Certainly we care about our students, and the student or the mom of the student who's benefited from Student Life bringing soup to their room when they're sick, are staying with them at the hospital if they've had to go to the hospital, if they've been injured somehow, don't see that as something that's spoiling them. They see it as compassionate and caring. And I would say that those are the kinds of things that we want our students to go out and emulate in the world on their own. So we have a caring culture here. We don't have a culture that innately spoils students.